Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to No Name Gaming. My name is Alex Light here at Racing Lights Productions, your home for sim racing. We are live at the virtual Southern National Motorsports Park for the American Motorsports Association Sandhills 125. Tonight we have a very special race with more than just points on the line. There are 4 drivers from tonight's race running for the opportunity to win $100. These drivers were the highest finishers in last week's race at Five Flags Speedway. You'll be able to see where these drivers are in the standings throughout the night because their names will be highlighted in green on the timing tower. Our Dash for Cash drivers are Trevor Edwards, Dustin Momborquette, Braxton DeWeese, and Aaron Johnson. These drivers are going to give it everything they have in order to find themselves in the highest finisher and earn some extra money tonight. There's some other big storylines coming into tonight's race. The American Motorsports Association is really excited to announce their new title sponsor, Elite Performance Industries. That team has done a great job since joining the league a few weeks ago, posting multiple drivers in the top 5 in each race. Trevor Edwards has won 2 straight races with teammate Dustin Momborquette finishing in 2nd place for both of those races. He's hungry for a win, but so are many of these drivers. This track is very quick and racy, and we've seen what these drivers have been able to do at a variety of tracks leading into tonight, and I don't expect that to change here. The drivers are gritting up here momentarily, but let's take a quick look at the driver standings heading into tonight's race. And actually gritting up a little bit earlier than expected, so maybe we'll have to go take a look at the driver standings shortly after. But you can take a quick peek at the driver standings. So there's a look at what we've got coming up for the driver standings. Trevor Edwards is in first, Cody Bain in second, and then just a quick look through. We'll go back and take a peek at it in a moment, but we want to go ahead and get down to the grid because things are getting underway very, very quickly. So let's head back for the start of the race. Green flag getting ready to drop. There we go. And hopefully you guys are excited. Dustin Momborquette on the pole. Braxton DeWeese will be alongside. Sorry we didn't get the grid. Didn't expect the grid to go a little bit earlier than we normally do. But green flag is out. Dustin Momborquette leads the field around. And we are green flag racing. Braxton DeWeese on the outside. He's trying to see if he can push to get to the lead. But Dustin Momborquette, he has fought several times with teammate Trevor Edwards. Oh, we already have our first caution of the night. So an early wreck, lots of cars further behind. Looks like they got caught up in that. Maybe Brad Carpenter and Landon Huffman. So let's go see what's going on back there with the caution. This is a look at the 75 of Landon Huffman. Starting in the back. Somebody was down on the apron. And oh yeah, Brad Carpenter just breaks loose into turn 1. Doesn't look like Huffman. Oh my, we also have another car that had spun around. That looked like it might have been Kieran Church. Yeah, the 22 of Kieran Church also spun around. So let's go back and see what caused him to get loose. And it almost seemed like his was the, he was the car running on the apron. Let's take a peek here and see again. Yeah, car got a little loose into one, caught the apron and just spun it around. So a couple of cars, a little sideways there. Thankfully, nobody looks to really be damaged though. So everything looks to be okay on that start. So now that we have a chance to take a look through the field, we are going to kind of go do a quick little rundown. You can't do the starting grid because it doesn't really apply anymore. But your current lineup, we've got Dustin Momborquette currently in the lead. Our pole sitter, unfortunately unable to race tonight. Neil Vinorodsky said that he has been dealing with some pain, some issues. So we wish him the best. Hopefully he feels better soon. It's really a shame that he's not able to be here on track with us tonight, but you got to take care of you first. So we wish him the best. But at second place will be Braxton DeWeese right now. Third place, Dave Bishner. Then we have Zachary Onan, Aaron Johnson in the I Love Mac and Cheese car. That's a really cool. I like that. That's fun. Trevor Edwards in the 32 is in 6th. Justin Crow in 7th. We've got Josh Parrish in 8th. 9th, RJ Williams, and Alex Greats rounds out the top 10. It looks like we are going green flag racing this time around. So buckle up. Hopefully you guys are excited for some good green flag racing. Hopefully so you get some long laps there. Aaron Johnson tries to time it there behind the 15 of Bishner. It's not going to get through though. So the top 3 clear. That is Zachary Onan rounding out the top 3. Trevor Edwards trying to see if he can work his way up to the front as he goes on the outside of Bishner. They go around turns 3 and 4. Bishner going to wash up the track a little bit. That's going to be Aaron Johnson to the inside as he's going to be able to clear through almost 3 wide going into turn 1. As we see Crow now dive into the inside. Bishner really struggling for pace. 3 wide down the backstretch. Is it going to work? Not a lot of room there as Alex Gray's going to pull onto the outside of the 44. And now almost 3 wide there as we see Bishner. He is just dropping pace here. Really off the speed. Not sure what's going on in that 15 car. Really struggling here. But looking further ahead, you've got RJ Williams. He's listed as the 02 on the timing tower. He is the 44 on track. Trying to see if he can work his way around Alex Greats right ahead in that in that 9 car. Can't seem to get around, but you got Josh Parrish now trying to see if he can race against Justin Crow on that inside line. And we saw this a little bit, 5 flags. Some drivers could really hold down that top line, but right now doesn't seem to be the preferred line, as that top line really not carrying a lot of speed. But Alex Greats, good move on the exit, gets to the inside of Parrish and is going to be able to make a move to try and move himself up into 6th place, and that is going to be a job done there for 6th. So moving up the field really nicely for him. Further back, we got battling between Spencer Dickinson and Dylan Williams. And Dickinson, he doesn't get the greatest qualifying runs, but works his way up the field very nicely. Last week, if I remember correctly, one of our hardest chargers, moving up about 10 or so spots. But he also was able to keep his car out of trouble. That's part of racing here in this short track series. But you can see racing that inside line. Doesn't seem like he's pushing too hard, trying to see if he can just save up his tires a little bit. As you see on the outside, Dylan Williams in the Sunoco car really pushing, trying to see if he can get that car around, and he almost clears, just can't seem to get that car all the way around. Pushes a little hard on the exit, breaks that back end a little loose. That's finally get him down to the inside. But the question is, running that outside line, how much did it burn up his tires? Is that going to really hurt him for pace as we go later on in the race? Thankfully, it didn't take him too long. It's not like he ran out there for like 30 laps or so. It's only lap 17 at this point. But taking a look, Dustin Monbourquette now dropping back to 2nd place. He is behind Braxton DeWeese. And look out, Trevor Edwards trying to see if he can make his way back to the front. He led almost every lap last week at 5 flags. He led a lot of laps at Myrtle Beach, trying to do it again here tonight if he can get to the lead. He works his way around his teammate, Dustin Monbourquette, and is currently the second highest running. All 4 of the Dash for Cash drivers up in the top 4 right now. So he's trying to see if he can hunt down Braxton DeWeese. And he was a little bit faster last lap than DeWeese, but you can see Dustin Monbourquette drops back to 5th place, getting stuck on that outside. So you can just see how strong that inside line is. It's very early to be moving drivers. You can see some runoff there on the exit there for Trevor Edwards. Gets to the inside on the backstretch, and that should be enough to get him through over the next couple of laps. And now your new race leader, Trevor Edwards, he will be clear of DeWeese, so he is back to the front yet again. DeWeese now side by side with Aaron Johnson, and is able to slot back in line. You've got you have Dustin Monbourquette alongside Zachary Onan behind. Onan able to keep pace here with Monbourquette. Not able to get that runoff there, and he's going to try and see if he can get in line. Good send there by Alex Greats, able to get that nose in and keeps him on the outside line. But the key, if you fight this long, there's a chance they might lose the leaders in front. We saw it at 5 flags. There was a lot of racing back around for like 4th, 5th place. And all of a sudden, the leaders were about a second or 2 up the road. And then they were just gone at that point because they were fighting so hard further back. You can see even a little bit further back in the field here, there's some fighting going on, some battling for position. And so we see Elliott Carlson about 3/4 of a second off from the car in front in Justin Crow. And even a little bit further back, there's still a little bit of a gap of about a half second or so as we see Cody Bain get a little bit of a slide on the exit. A good save there, though, coming out of the corner. But side by side, we've got Cade Green and Shannon Wilder. Cade Green in the 19 S&P Lemonade car, able to get down to the inside, and he's going to get through. Landon Huffman trying to see if he can follow that line. Almost seems like Landon being a little conservative, currently riding back in 21st, involved in that first incident. That High Rock Vodka late model looks very, very clean, even though he got hit. Yeah, that right front took a little bit of damage, but it doesn't seem like it's really bothering him too much. We'll see what the strategy is here from one of the local short track drivers. But looking back up at the front, everybody's single file at this point. It almost seems like we're getting back into that follow the leader. If you remember back to like Myrtle Beach, we saw a lot of that single lane racing for a while on those longer green flag runs. Maybe see if you can force a driver to the outside. Same thing with like we saw it at Hickory. It was really big at Hickory. That inside line so strong, trying to really keep that car down there. So a lot of drivers really trying to fight for that bottom line. And you can see, look there from Josh Parrish. If you can get that car to get a little bit of a runoff on the exit, you can get to that inside a lot easier. We've seen several drivers use the exit there as an opportunity to try and pass. Rather than trying to send it into a corner, they use the corner exit. They use the drive off. It's going to use more of the rears, but it's going to help you a little bit to try and balance out the tire wear because you're using a lot of speed throughout the corner. These cars going about 78, 80 miles an hour through the middle of the corner here. And you get on throttle pretty quickly. It's not a lot of off throttle time, so it's using a lot of that right front to get that car in there because you can see how hard they're sending that car in. So in order to balance that out, you got to get on throttle pretty hard to be able to use up those rears a little bit more. Side by side though, in front we've got Alex Greats, Braxton DeWeese, and DeWeese dropping back a little bit here because he's going to move a little bit further back now, 5th place. He's got Zachary Onan on the inside, and Onan gets a good run into the corner side by side as they run through turn 4. Across the line, DeWeese still able to hold the position, but how much longer is he going to be able to do it? Because we've seen just that outside line just doesn't seem to have that same grip that the bottom does. We saw 5 flags, some drivers able to make that outside line work, but here it just doesn't seem as viable of an option so far. Who knows? Maybe that outside line needs worked in a little bit. But the drivers right now opting for that bottom line if they can, trying to see if they can make a send and force a driver to the outside. But you can see even DeWeese there, he's taking a little bit of a wider entry. Almost makes it look like he's trying to go for a tighter exit. And that could be where drivers are taking the advantage. They're looking for that inside on that wider entry that he has. Gives him a little bit more room to make a move. And now you can see he's trying to adjust and force it down to the bottom. Looking a little bit further back through the field, those side by side. This is the 88 or the 15 of Dave Bichner. So he's really dropped off, unfortunately, with the 12 of William Griffith. As Griffith is going to be able to work on the inside, gets through, and that's a spot for him. And he's not off to a great start either. He's dropped back 4 spots, and Bichner we've seen drop back 14. He started up in 5th. So he's trying to see, maybe he's going for a save the tire strategy, a little bit of a slower approach. But you can see Cade Green trying to see if he can move up another spot. And he's another one of those drivers that sneakily works his way up through the field throughout the race. He's been a hard charger, I believe, twice throughout the season. He's looking to do it again here. He's already up 7 spots after starting in 27. So he's quickly, or at this point now, it's slowed down a little bit, but he's slowly making his way through the field, looking really good. And yes, for those of you in chat, the cars that are green, and I wish it would have come up a little bit brighter green. That's my fault. Should have made it a brighter green. They are our Dash for Cash drivers. You can see, just taking a look here at Trevor Edwards. Him and Aaron Johnson have pulled away a little bit. And it's kind of surprising. We've seen Dustin Marquette kind of stay toe-to-toe with Trevor Edwards in both 5 Flags and Myrtle Beach. But here, he's a little off the pace. He's about a second back from Dustin Marquette, but Aaron Johnson, he's about 3/10 of a second away from his teammate. And he's got good pace. We'll see if he's going to be able to make a move on Trevor Edwards at some point. But right now, Edwards looking to make it 3 straight wins in a row. But we still have plenty of race to go. We're only 43 laps in. We're looking at some other battles going on here on track. It is a long train here from about, I believe it is 6th place. Yeah, 6th place in Zachary Onan. Sorry, 5th place. All the way back to Dylan Williams. That is 13th. All in a line here, waiting for somebody to make a mistake. And there it is. On the inside is going to be Josh Parrish. He sees a little bit of a slow exit there from Zachary Onan. Braxton DeWeese going to try and see if he can work his way back up front, but he's really desperately fighting one of those Dash for Cash drivers, seeing if he can work his way back up. Josh, though, a little bit of a slide on the exit, not able to keep the control. He's able to get that car to the bottom, but you can see it's like he catches the apron a little bit. That car breaks a little loose on him. Same thing there. He pushes, the car washes up a little bit. It's almost like is burn up maybe that right front a little bit because it's not rotating for him the same way. Has to slow up a lot more, I think, than he wants to. But he gets alongside Onan again here. Gonna give it another shot here as they go through turns 1 and 2. Oh, washes up a good bit. He's siding through the backstretch. Is able to save it. What a save by Parrish, but that's going to drop him way off here. As you see, DeWeese taking that high line, trying to see if he can really gun it off and get a run, but it ends up burning him more than it does help him. As you see, he drops back through the field. And the leaders pulling further and further away as that battling is going on. You can see Trevor Edwards still out there ahead, about the same distance to Aaron Johnson. Dustin Monborquette hasn't really gained time, and Alex Great kind of seems to be minding his own business back there. He's not really making moves. He's taking looks here and there. But no need to really push the issue at this point, just kind of waiting by. But 50 laps have gone by. One caution. This has been absolutely phenomenal racing. But we'll see what's going to happen. Still plenty of time to go. Now let's look a little further back here. Cade Green alongside the 30 of Jacob Boehm. He's trying to see if he can move up a spot, but oh, Boehm gets loose on the exit, almost gets into Cade Green. What a save there from the 30. And we saw Landon Huffman. He got around Cade Green, so now it's almost like a fight here for Lucky Dog. A couple drivers, or not Lucky Dog, sorry. The Hard Charger. Double driver is currently eligible for that. Cade Green is up 8 spots. Landon Huffman's up 7. You have Cody Boehm up 6, and Elliot Carlson up 8 spots as well. We've got some good battling going on a little bit further behind. Brad Carpenter back up in the 31. He spun, brought out the first caution. He's alongside Josh Oswald, with Josh Oswald not having a great start to tonight's race. He's been doing a very good job, one of our top 10 drivers in points, but hoping to be able to make some moves here. Just can't seem to make that outside line work, but it almost seems like Jacob Boehm might be holding up a little bit. He's having some issues with car control, that car getting a little loose, a little slidey here through the corners, but that's going to have Oswald drop back a really good corner there from Carpenter. A little bit of a slide there from Boehm again. He saves it, almost going sideways on the exit there. He is pushing it really hard through the middle of the corner, sliding onto the apron, and that might be for our next caution. That will be it. So it is Boehm sliding it through turns 1 and 2. We saw it for a couple laps, hoping he would keep it straight. He tried. He put in a really good effort, but the car just wouldn't do it. It wouldn't get under control and slid out from underneath him. So let's go take a look. We'll ride on board here with the 30 of Jacob Boehm. Now let's take a look here from his perspective. Kind of what you hear, what you see. Gets into the corner, and just right there from the entry, the back end had already kicked out. He sent it a little too hard, it seems like. And then not much he could really do to save it. And look at that. That line of cars, unfortunately, they're going to have to all check up. But my goodness, some phenomenal racing to this point. It has been great racing all around. Very respectful. Drivers doing a great job on track. And we've got ourselves quite the fight for the race lead. We'll see if we can keep up this fight. 3 drivers in the top 3 for the Dash for Cash. You've got Braxton DeWeese back in 7th. But then Alex Greats has been sneakily up there trying to see if he can put up a fight. So we'll see how the tires are after they get a chance to cool off. Who's been able to save them? Who's pushing maybe a little bit too much? We saw some drivers struggling a little bit for exits. We saw Josh Parrish at times. That car was pushing a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see. Jolene Sims, she is the driver of the 66 car. I love Jolene. She pops into chat every now and then, even though she's in the car. She pops into the chat and says that these cars are evil to drive. And they do have their moments. We've seen some drivers really struggle with grip at moments. But right now, Jolene Sims is up 4 spots herself from 20th up to 16th. But right now, your hardest charger, there are actually 3 drivers tied for it. We've got the ZR9 of Elliot Carlson. He started back in 19th, finds himself in 11th. You've got Landon Huffman, who started in 25th, now up to 17th. And Cade Green, who started in 27th and is now up to 19th. So we're going to get ready to go green flag racing. And this time around, I think we're going to go ahead and we are going to turn off the mic and we're going to crank up the audio and we'll get you the sights and sounds of Southern National Motorsports Park. Here we go. I hope you guys enjoy the sights and sounds of Southern National Motorsports Park, but back into the action. We've got Dustin Monborquette currently fighting for third place with Alex Greats as they make contact onto the backstretch. Josh Parrish able to try and push a little bit here, but my goodness, really, really close. It almost seems like Dustin Monborquette tried to clear himself there on the exit. Almost got turned into the back wall, and that would have been a heck of a pileup as there are lots of cars bunched up here for position. Again, Alex Greats on the outside line. He's trying to see if he can fight with Josh Parrish. You got Braxton DeWeese as well, and you can just see that train of cars behind here trying to see if they can work their way up, capitalize on a mistake from a different driver, but just a whole line of cars. The race leaders, though, have checked out, and now that is Josh Parrish sideways. Zachary Onen also turned here. Lots of chaos here going into turns 3 and 4. And that's unfortunate there. It looked like it was DeWeese, sorry, not DeWeese, maybe Onen got involved. Oh, my goodness. That Ace truck gave me a heart attack. I saw him drifting around, and I thought somebody was ARCA braking the field. Oh, my goodness. That was scary. All right, so let's go take a look here again at that wreck and see what brought that caution out. A little bit of contact there from 3 and 4. And so let's take another peek here. You can see, oh yeah, Parrish, just a little bit of an earlier break than Greats. That's what turned him around. Let's go take a look here. Let's ride on board here from Bame. This is 75 Cody Bame, so you can see what happened a little bit further out. The drivers did a fantastic job, though, fanning out, avoiding this wreck. So you can see contact right there going into 3, and just having to pick a lane and fan out from there. I mean, the fact that only one other driver getting tagged in that is just phenomenal awareness and ability to react quickly from the field. It's a great job from the rest of the driving. And that is tight racing. There's not a lot of room to give, but they do a phenomenal job of reacting and being able to avoid what could be a much worse incident. But let's go ahead and do, it's a little bit past the halfway, 49 to go, but let's go ahead and go through our mid-race break. We're going to have to do this pretty quickly because caution laps are very, very short here. We've got Trevor Edwards, your race leader, Aaron Johnson in second, Dustin Monborquette third, Braxton DeWeese in fourth, Alex Greats in fifth, Sean Hayes in sixth, seventh, Zachary Onen, eighth, Justin Crow, ninth, Elliott Carlson, RJ Williams rounds out the top 10, Leon Keniston in 11th, Spencer Dickinson 12th, 13th is Cody Bame, 14th, Landon Huffman, 15th, Dylan Williams, 16th, William Griffith, 17th, Cade Green, 18th, Dave Bichner, 19th, Josh Oswald, Brad Carpenter, 20th, Jolene Sims, 21st, Shannon Wilder, 22nd, Josh Parrish, 23rd, Jacob Bame, 24th, rounding out the lead lap cars. Kenan Church rounds out the field on track in 25th. So that is your kind of mid-race break here for tonight. And we are green flag racing again. And Aaron Johnson side by side with Trevor Edwards. He's going to try and fight for the race lead. And he is going to not lead that lap. I think it was Trevor Edwards by maybe a nose, as he's going to be able to get on the backstretch. And that might be all he needs. Aaron Johnson not gonna give up. He's trying to see if they can get themselves another race winner. It has been 2 in a row for Trevor Edwards. Our Center One race won, but the caution is out. Wreck on the front stretch, and it looks like it is the 66 of Jolene Sims that brings that corner out, that caution out. Our fourth caution of the night. So let's go see what happened to Jolene. They've turned her around here on the front stretch. A little bit of checkup, and yeah, the car just a little loose. Nothing Josh Parrish could do. Thankfully, she stays off the wall. Great save from her to be able to keep the car from making contact. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Nothing really bad happening from that. Just a little bit of checkup. Nothing Josh Parrish could do. You don't expect that to happen on the exit of the corner like that. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the race. Some exciting action here on track. And while we do have a moment, we didn't get to go through the race schedule for the rest of the season. But let's go take a look here while we do have a quick moment. So next week's race is at North Wilkesboro. Unfortunately, that race will not be broadcasted. So that one, unfortunately, due to my personal schedule, will not be able to have that race on stream. But then the week after, we go to South Boston, which is a really exciting bull ring style track, similar to kind of like Hickory was in week 1. Then we go to Lanier, and that will be our second Dash for Cash qualifier. And then we go to Rockingham, much bigger track, much faster track for our second Dash for Cash race. So that is our schedule, and we can take a quick look here at the drivers' standings too. So you can see some drivers up front here. Monborquette trying to see if he can work his way into the top 5 with tonight's race. You've got Josh Oswald right now not having the best race, but seeing if he can work his way back up to the front. We're going to get ready to go green flag racing. Oh, never mind. I was wrong. They doubled up, so I wasn't sure. Let's take a look here again. Go back to the standings here. Some other drivers to take note of that are having themselves a pretty good day. Braxton DeWeese, you can see he is currently 20th. The last week was his first week. So he currently finds himself in the top 5. Maybe a good race here tonight gets him a little bit closer to that top 10. And Alex Grace as well, having a phenomenal race for only racing at 5 flags. So here we go. Now we're getting ready to go green flag racing. Trevor Edwards gets a good jump on the field. Aaron Johnson going to try on the outside yet again. Can he get it done, though? Doesn't look like he's even going to get a shot, as Trevor Edwards already out ahead by a good bit. Braxton DeWeese makes contact. He moves Monborquette up the field. It's going to be 3 wide coming on the exit. He's going to find his way in. What a move by DeWeese to get Monborquette out of the way. And that's going to give him an opportunity to fight for top 3. But Sean Hayes is the big winner of that one. Finds himself into 3rd place, his highest position of the night. Actually up 10 spots from his starting spot of 13. So he is having himself a great day so far. But the battle is raging on further behind. Some bumping and banging as we're getting closer and closer to the finish. 36 laps to go across the line that time. You can see the 0-2 of RJ Williams almost getting into Monborquette, but you can see right in front here, Justin Crowe, Zachary Onan side by side as they go through turns 3 and 4. And the battle for 3rd place was heating up there for a moment. Braxton DeWeese was looking on the outside, doesn't get that move done. Is now Monborquette kind of in a weird spot. You can't really do too much here. Kind of have to wait and see what happens with this battle in front of you. But behind is a bit of a mess. It's a cluster of drivers all over. 2 wide for about 4 straight here. There is a car that had gotten turned, but we are still green flag racing here. You're looking at quite the battle here. Almost 3 wide as Josh Parrish further behind gets a little loose, but right up here leading this charge here is Spencer Dickinson and William Griffith fighting it for 14th. Cade Green also trying to fight here on the bottom with Dylan Williams. Can't seem to get much of a run here through the corners, but he's also kind of at the mercy of the 12 car of William Griffith. And he's not getting too many opportunities to really make moves. Everybody just kind of at a standstill right now until something happens with the drivers in front. A little bit of a checkup, though, behind with Josh Oswald. And there is a caution, as I think it's RJ Williams is sideways on the front stretch. So it seems like the front stretch claiming a lot of victims right now here. It's been, I believe, 3 straight incidents coming out of turn 4 onto the front stretch. Let's see how RJ Williams found himself going the wrong way on the front stretch. So he has the 93 of Leon Keniston behind him coming out of turn 4. Makes a little bit of contact with the 09 of Elliot Carlson. And yep, that's what turns him around. Let's go take a quick look again here. Let's go on board this time with the 02 of RJ Williams. The exit, car just runs out a little bit and he takes a little bit of contact, and that's all it needed, unfortunately. It's a rough situation to find yourself in, but I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Car could have gotten junked, could have really nailed the wall. So he makes it away with, I mean, virtually, it looks like no damage on the car whatsoever. The race heating up. Less than 30 to go. We go green flag racing. We should be, I think, about 25 to go if I'm kind of counting it correctly. I don't think we have any lap cars now, so we don't have to worry about the lap cars coming down Pace Road, so I wouldn't be surprised if the lights on the pace truck go off this time. But a couple questions come to mind here as we go through these closing laps. We've seen Aaron Johnson do the same thing we've seen Dustin Monborquette do at the last 2 races. Starts alongside on these restarts with Trevor Edwards, pushes as hard as he can, but Trevor Edwards just is able to carry so much speed on the bottom that it doesn't really matter. And he's doing it again here. We've seen the restarts. Aaron Johnson has some really good runs. He gets alongside Trevor, but nothing he really can do. He tries time and time again, just can't seem to carry that pace on the outside enough to get around Trevor. Another thing to think about here, let's take a look in the second row. We got Sean Hayes. He's having himself a really good run, was able to move up a couple spots on that last restart. Can he jump Aaron Johnson and find himself to second? Or Braxton DeWeese? He moved Dustin Monbourquette. Will he be willing to move a driver in front to find himself to the front? Going to be some really exciting racing. Green flag is out, and we're green flag yet again for the Sand Hills 125. 25 laps to go. Trevor Edwards in the lead. And it looks like he's going to be able to hold it at least through turns 1 and 2. Aaron Johnson gets a run. He's looking to the inside. Gets some speed, carries it down to the bottom, but he's not able to get enough rotation. Has to slow up a little bit more. Trevor Edwards carries beautiful rotation on the outside line, is able to just outspeed Aaron Johnson in the one car, and is going to hold on to that lead. He is clear. Side by side behind Aaron Johnson, and caution is a massive wreck further behind. So massive wreck on the back stretch here, or sorry, on the front stretch yet again, and it's just real tight racing throughout turns 3 and 4 really is where it comes down to. It's interesting that it's all happening on the front stretch, not the back stretch, but let's go take a look. What brought out this huge wreck? Lots of drivers involved in this one. So going out here, let's take a look. We're looking at the 11 of Shannon Wilder, and it almost seems like it happened maybe in front. Yeah, you already have smoke coming up in front. Josh Oswald gets turned around, and oh my gosh, yeah, they basically blocked the track. But the 55 of Parrish went over the top of Jacob Boehm. Taking a look again here. Let's take another look. It almost seems like maybe he had a checkup there from the 17. Yeah, it was a checkup that led to that. Oswald had a checkup. We'll take a look on board here with Josh Oswald to see what really what caused that checkup here. We're riding on board with Josh Oswald. The further ahead, we saw smoke. And you take a look here. Oh, the 78 of Cody Boehm got turned. He had to check up. I mean, it's impressive that Cody Boehm was able to keep that straight. He had some help to keep it straight. Let's take a look here now with Jolene Sims. She made it through with a lot of damage, but she gets the full effect of everything that happened here. You can see a great view there of the 78. It's sideways, it's a little help. Try to see if she can shoot the top, and at that point, Shannon Wilder already started sliding. Nothing she can do. She got pinned against that wall. And this time, unfortunately, a couple drivers taking a good bit of damage from that wreck. Our 6th caution of the night. Gonna go green flag racing with less than 20 to go. Lights are off on the pace truck. We'll have ourselves 17 laps. We'll see if we can finish it under green. We had a phenomenal green flag run. We're going to try it again, but in the chat, let us know, who do you think is coming away with the race win? Is it going to be one of our Dash for Cash drivers? Could we see Sean Hayes, Alex Grates, or Justin Crowe find themselves to the front? Are we going to have a 3-time winner in Trevor Edwards? Who knows? Green flag is out yet again, and what a jump by Aaron Johnson. He's going to be side by side into turn 1. Is going to get alongside down the back stretch. Might be able to take advantage and make himself a turn through turns 3 and 4. Can he cut the car down? No. He is still alongside Trevor. Maybe Trevor used up some more of those tires as he's going through turns 1 and 2. Aaron Johnson's still there. I think this is probably the longest that we've seen Aaron Johnson hang around after a restart. Side by side further right now. Oh, sliding there for Johnson. That's going to cause him to lose a lot of pace. Almost checks up to a 3 wide behind. Braxton DeWeese almost into Hayes there as they're alongside fighting for 3rd place going through 3 and 4. And behind, you've got Grates and not Sean Hayes. You've got Grates and Crowe fighting for that top 5 spot. And you can see the 99 trying to really force all the way down. Oh, no! Grates almost got turned. But we have our first incident in a while out of turn 2. Couple drivers getting involved in that. One of those being the 12 here of William Griffith. That car gets beat up a good bit. So let's go back here and see what brought out that caution. I believe our 7th of the night. That's the thing. The back here, it has been tight racing all the way through, side by side quite a bit. A little bit of checkup, and yeah, Cody Bame just sends him. You can see even Carpenter gets a little bit of a spin there. He gets bumped a good bit. So we could take a look here. Let's go see if we could take a look. I think it was Cade Green might have been a little bit further behind, but let's actually take a look here. Shannon Wilder. He has to avoid the 30. But he should be able to get a good view. Actually, no, he does. He doesn't get a great view, but we'll have to. Yeah, let's go back one more time. Let's take a look here from Carpenter on board with him. You can get a straight right up view here. And it seems like, yeah, maybe a little bit of checkup, or maybe the 12 got a little loose on the exit. Cody Bame wasn't expecting it and ends up pushing him a little bit too hard. That's what brought the whole thing out. 7th caution of the night. We're going to be less than 10 to go. So we should find ourselves, once we go green flag racing yet again, 8 laps to go. I would assume next time by is going to be our 1 to go. We should find ourselves some really exciting racing. Aaron Johnson, that might have been his best restart yet. Does that mean that he's got any more left in the tank, though? You can see he is pushing that car to the limits because he gets loose a little bit from time to time on the exits. And so we'll see what he's got for Trevor Edwards here on this next run. Does Sean Hayes try and see if he can make a jump and make a move? What do we have going on further back? It's been quite a battle, and I mean, it's so... I want to look at the rest of the field, but this battle for the race lead has also been extremely good. Pace truck off. Trevor Edwards is away. We're green flag racing once more. Aaron Johnson trying to see if he can stick with the 32, but he's going to see if he can make a run on the backstretch, coming through turns 1 and 2. Setting up, trying to go for 3 and 4. Can't get to the inside. And we are side by side further back here. Really intense here on the outside line. Braxton DeWeese might get the clear, as it seems like he's carrying a little bit of extra momentum. They flip-flopped this time. We had Sean Hayes on the outside on the restart. Now we got Braxton DeWeese on the outside on the restart. And he seems to have a little bit extra pace on that outside line, because you can see Hayes gets a little slidey on the exit. Those rears worn up a good bit. You have to carry a lot of pace through the exit. And now you see him diving that inside line. DeWeese slowly gaining each and every lap. Will he clear here soon? Looks like he might, but you see on the outside line here, Justin Crowe falling back a little bit. He's now alongside Dustin Monbourquette, fighting for sixth place. As they're going side by side, sliding is Sean Hayes, 3 wide down the front stretch. And it's going to be Braxton DeWeese clear here for 3rd place. Alex Greats along the inside. And they are pushing real hard here, trying to see if they can fight up there. Sean Hayes, you can see Doring Alex Greats all the way down. Further back, side by side, you've got Josh Parrish and Cade Green as they're fighting for 14th. But looking back up at the race lead, they are gone here. The leaders have pulled away with now 2 to go. Popsicle sticks out here for Trevor Edwards as he's looking to win his 3rd straight race. The battle behind really, really tight, though. Coming around this time, white flag is out. Barney the flagman's got it waving. Trevor Edwards is going to take the white flag as you've got Dustin Monbourquette alongside Sean Hayes. This is the battle to get into the top 5. Monbourquette just hasn't been his race. Can he get the move done? As it looks like Trevor Edwards pulling away. Half a second now. Checker flag is out, and he is going to win the first Dash for Cash race here in the American Motorsports Association late model stocks, brought to you by EPI. Some phenomenal racing throughout the entire field. It was great battling all race long, but Trevor Edwards, he worked his way up a good bit through the field to get his 3rd straight win. He's going to go home $100 richer here tonight, so congratulations to Trevor Edwards. Let's go take a look here at our finish results. There we go. So Trevor Edwards, your race winner, wins by about a half a second there that time. Really strong run, though, from Aaron Johnson in 2nd place, or 2nd place of the season. Alex Great ends up moving up to win a top 3 spot. Great job from him. Braxton DeWeese tried his best, did everything he could, but could not find his way around Great. He moves back to 4th place. Dustin Monbourquette able to work his way around Sean Hayes and get himself into the top 5. Sean Hayes finishes out in 6th. Justin Crow in 7th. Elliot Carlson in 8th. Zachary Onan in 9th. And Landon Huffman works his way through the field. He earns the Hard Charger Award to round out the top 10. Leon Kennison in 11th. Dylan Williams in 12th. Spencer Dickinson 13th. Josh Parrish in 14th. And Cade Green rounds out the field in 15th. RJ Williams in 16th. Cody Bame in 17th. Dave Bishner in 18th. And then in 19th, William Griffith, rounding out the top 20, Brad Carpenter. 21st, we've got Jacob Bame. Jolene Sims in 22nd. She was 2 laps down. Shannon Wilder, 23rd. Josh Oswald, 24th. And that is Kieran Church in 25th. He rounds out the cars that had started tonight. Unfortunately, Neil Vinorodsky was your pole sitter, not able to join tonight. And Kenny Trouton also did not grid. So that is your finishing results here for tonight. We're going to get our top 3 in here. So we'll start here with, looks like we've got Alex Greats here ready and waiting. So let's go ahead and pull in Alex Greats. We've got the driver of the 9 car, Alex Greats, 3rd place finish here tonight. Alex, really great battle for you. This is your best finish so far since joining the AMA Late Model Stocks. And you just give me 1 second here. Make sure I got you coming across our stream. There we go. We should have you on the broadcast now. And how's it feel getting your first 3rd place finish, Alex?
Honestly, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool. I think I ran well most of the night. It was hard with all the shop cars. They're always pretty quick. I felt like I was better than them, but with the way the yellows fell and starting on the outside or the inside and being behind different cars, it was kind of hard to make up track position. But I think we had a good piece. I don't know. It's fun. It was a fun race, honestly. I had a really good side-by-side battle with Dustin there for probably 15, 20 laps. Probably 50 laps to go. A lot of fun. So definitely a good race.
Yeah, it was some phenomenal battle. We saw you side-by-side quite a bit there with Dustin. You were side-by-side with Sean for a while, as I believe Justin too. Lots of things going on throughout this race. And there were some moments, it seemed like what I like to call Code Brown moments. We saw your car get sideways a couple times. What was going on with the car? It seemed like you had really good pace. Like you said, you did a great job at finishing 3rd. Obviously, you did. The car was with you tonight. But there were some moments, whether it was contact or maybe pushing too hard, we saw the car slide out. Kind of what's going through your head in those kind of moments.
Especially around the top side of this place, it can get really slick and come up and bite you really quick. Around the bottom, it's pretty good, and I think my car was pretty good when I was around the bottom. But when you have to pinch off the exit or you're running the outside, it can sure come and bite you real quick. I was more so fighting the track than I think it was fighting the car, because that's just the nature of this track. Every car around this track is like that. So I think it was more the track than the car.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. So you did a really good job wheeling around it. And, looking forward here, first time getting into the top 3. Think we're going to see more of this throughout the rest of the season?
I hope so. Ryan back at RKM always does a great job building setups, and we always have a good piece when we come here. In any car, but he's been really good in the late model stocks recently, and I think if I can get some track position on my side, I think I can tend to win one of these.
Hey, considering you started back in 10th, found yourself up 7 spots from the start of the race, great finish. Before we have you head on out, anybody you would like to thank? Anything else you would like to say?
Obviously Ryan, RKM Setup Shop, Studio 10 Wraps. Didn't actually design my car, but RS is a good buddy of mine. He won the opener at Hickory. That's about it. Oh, also check out my all the cars that I design are on 17 Media on Facebook. My Discord link's there if you want to get a wrap from me. Obviously, you're probably seeing on the broadcast right now. You want to get a wrap from me, let me know. You can hit me up on Facebook or Discord or anything.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Alex, for joining me up here in the booth. Congratulations on your first 3rd place finish, and we hope to talk to you more in the future.
Thank you.
Now we're going to bring in Aaron Johnson, driver of the number 1 car. He was one of our Dash for Cash drivers tonight. Put in everything he had on track and just could not find his way around Trevor Edwards. And Aaron, that was quite the battle you had. Every restart, you just got pinned on the outside. We just talked with Alex. He said that outside line was really tough to drive, and I don't think anybody knows that more than you, considering every restart, you put everything you could in that car and just could not find your way around Trevor.
Yeah, it was tough trying to get around him. There's sometimes I felt like I could hang right there with him with it, but after a couple laps tick off, there ain't nothing out there for me to try it and get around him.
Now, my question is the restarts. We had a lot there at the end. Unfortunately, drivers pushing hard. Tires are worn out. This is a tough track because it burns the rear so much since you are pushing so hard on the exits. Those restarts, having so many in a row, does that benefit you trying to see if you can race him and try and get around him, or is that something that's more of a hindrance?
Well, after all them caution, your tires kind of cool down a little bit, give you a little bit extra grip for maybe about 5 laps. So for 5 laps, I'm going balls to the wall just to see if I can make something happen. But there's one time I almost did get it, but I got tight, he got loose, so we was either gonna meet in the middle and wreck each other, or we're just gonna figure it out. Let
Well,
us
hey,
race it out.
it was good. I mean, we saw it. There was a couple moments, see that inside line. You were able to make that. It was the runoff of 2. You could really push that exit real tight, and that you got a lot of pace there. We saw a lot of drivers make that move. You go for the tighter exit on 2, and you push to the inside of 3. And it almost stuck. Yeah, you were saying it just was. Unfortunately, the car pushed loose on you. But phenomenal race, and just came just a half second away from that $100. But looking forward next week, we're at North Wilkesboro, and then we go to South Boston. Some 2 smaller tracks compared to what we had here tonight at Southern National. So what can we expect from the one car in the next couple races?
Well, those are 2 of my good tracks, so we're gonna be in contention again. Hopefully, if everything plays our cards right, and hopefully we're in victory lane.
All right. Well, Aaron, great talking to you yet again. Congratulations on your second place finish. Unfortunately, didn't get to see you go around, Trevor, but great race for you nonetheless. And I got to say, I love the mac and cheese scheme. Before you go, though, anybody you would like to thank? Anything else you would like to say?
I gotta thank the guys at the shop, Elite Performance Industries, you guys for putting on this broadcast, Tyler doing this league, and everyone is just watching. So let's go try and go get us one next week.
All right. Well, good luck next week in North Wilkesboro, Aaron.
Thank you.
That was Aaron, driver of the number 1 car, second place finisher here tonight. And now we bring in your 3rd straight race winner of the first Dash for Cash here in the AMA Late Model Stocks. He finds himself $100 richer here tonight. Trevor Edwards. And Trevor, how does it feel winning the first Dash for Cash race?
Oh, good. Aaron was really fast. Me and him had the same setup, and like I was telling him, it was really hard to start on the bottom there for some reason. Just couldn't get going. The outside line got such a good run off of 2. If they could hang there, you were kind of in trouble. But it ended up working out really well at the end, and having 5 of the top 6 again, I believe.
Yeah, there was quite a few EPI drivers up front. I mean, yet again, EPI coming out with some phenomenal setup. And each week, I mean, we've talked about it every time we've had you up here in the booth. You guys just able to come out and have some phenomenal racing. EPI always does a great job with the short track setups. But taking a look throughout that race, I mean, those restarts, I just asked Aaron about it. Those restarts, it almost seemed like they helped him a little bit, gave him more of a chance to try and give you a run. But from your perspective, do those restarts, do they help or do they hurt a little bit? Because sometimes I know you like really getting that momentum. You were starting to pull away on that longer run. And then we started getting more and more cautions, and that gave Aaron more time to get alongside you, try and push you. There was a couple moments where it looked like it was going to be some close calls between the 2 of you. So when it goes through all those restarts, is that something that helps you try and maybe reset, or is it more of a hindrance?
For me, I'd rather the race go green to checkered every time. I knew Aaron's a teammate. He's going to run me clean. He's going to race me hard. But like those restarts really gave him a really good chance to clear me on the top. There's one of them. They had a quick caution. If it would have came out a lap sooner, he'd probably been in the lead. Just because of where he was at on track versus me. Being on the top, they got such a good run for the first probably 2 or 3 laps after the restart, and then after that, it would kind of start fading. But yeah, if it was up to me, we'd go green checker the whole way. I was in a really good rhythm. That really long run, it felt like I was just starting to hit my stride, starting to get the car like just turning the way it needed to turn, and then the caution came out, and then it turned into 5-10 lap runs at the max.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems that's just kind of the trend that we have. I mean, you get tight racing at the end of the race, tires are worn out. I mean, it's going to happen, but phenomenal racing all around. I mean, you had phenomenal pace, great show between you and Aaron, but coming home $100 richer tonight. Great run for you. Third straight win. You're getting a bigger lead in the points. So looking forward, North Wilkesboro, then South Boston. Some shorter style tracks than what we had here tonight at Southern National. But Trevor, before you head on out to celebrate and possibly spend that 100, don't know what you plan on doing with it, but before you head on out, anybody you would like to thank, anything you would like to say?
I gotta thank everybody at the shop, man, especially Aaron and Barbecue. You know, they raced me clean all race tonight when we were around each other. That was awesome. I thank Tyler Hilton for putting the series on and doing the Dash for Cash, which is like a super cool thing to do. So here in a couple weeks, we'll probably have a little bit more competition. I know Alex is going to come run. A couple of my other buddies going to come run. It should be fun. We should try to get, hopefully we can do an EPI top 5 sweep. Got to thank EPI, of course. Justin Brooks Designs for painting this race car. It's beautiful. It's always fast, as you can see. And Kyle Captures for the screenshots he's going to get for me after this one.
All right. Well, Trevor, as always, pleasure talking to you. Congratulations on your win, third straight, as well as winning the first Dash for Cash race.
Thanks, man. Hopefully we can make it a 4-peat next week.
We'll have to wait and see, but good luck next week at North Wilkesboro.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. So with all that being said, I want to take a moment to thank all of you again for joining us here at No Name Gaming and Racing Lights Productions for the American Motorsports Association's sorry, give me 1 second here. I had to clear my quick throat. Thank you for joining us for the Sand Hills 125. Congratulations to Trevor Edwards for winning his third straight race, as well as being the recipient of $100 in the Dash for Cash, the first one of the season. Our next Dash for Cash will be coming up at the end of August. It'll be at Rockingham, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. The qualifier for that race will be August 22nd at Lanier. So bull ring to a much bigger track so we could get some mix of drivers. So we'll all just have to wait and see what happens there. Unfortunately, next week's race will not be broadcasted. Like I said, it will be at North Wilkesboro. So if you want to find out results and more info about that race, make sure you go check out the AMA over on Facebook or Twitter. You can find American Motorsports Association on Facebook. iRace AMA over on Twitter. That's where you'll be able to find their socials on both Facebook and Twitter. I want to thank the AMA for allowing us to bring this race to all of you. Be sure to check out Racing Lights Productions on Twitter with @RacingLightsPro, and as well as on Facebook and Instagram. You can also head over to the YouTube channel to check out any of our previous broadcasts that you may have missed. If you haven't watched any of the previous AMA races, you can get caught up. All 3 of the previous races are up on our YouTube channel. You can join us on Saturday night for the OMA VRC. We head to Long Beach. That is 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are Cup cars taking a street circuit out on the West Coast. 2 races left in their regular season. I am Alex Light saying good night to you from the virtual Southern National Motorsports Park. Thanks again for